We've all felt it at some stages of our lives, that ache in our chest, the silence that seems too loud, the empty space beside us on the couch. Loneliness is a universal human experience. It doesn't discriminate. It touches the young and old, the rich and poor, the famous and unknown. I remember a time when I felt so alone in a crowded room. It was at a conference, surrounded by peers. Yet I felt invisible. Loneliness isn't about being physically alone, it's about feeling disconnected, unseen, unheard. It's the gap between the connections we have and the connections we crave. But here's the thing about loneliness. It's not a permanent state, it's a signal, a call to action. It's our heart telling us we need connection. Just like hunger tells us we need food, or thirst tells us we need water. Loneliness is our emotional appetite for human connection, and just like physical hunger, we can satisfy it. Loneliness is more than just feeling alone. It's a complex emotional state. It's the perceived gap between the social connections we have and the ones we want. It's feeling isolated even when surrounded by people. Loneliness can strike anyone, at any time. The college freshman away from home for the first time, the widow adjusting to life without their partner, the immigrant in a new country. Each experience is unique, yet the feeling is universal. The impact of loneliness on our mental health is profound. It's not just an uncomfortable feeling, it's a serious health concern. Research shows that chronic loneliness can be as harmful as smoking 15 cigarettes a day. It increases the risk of depression, anxiety, and even physical health problems. In my work, I've seen how loneliness can chip away at self-esteem. It can make people feel unworthy of connection. This creates a vicious cycle, making it harder to reach out. But understanding loneliness is the first step to overcoming it. It's important to recognize that feeling lonely doesn't mean there's something wrong with you. It simply means you're human. Hobbies are more than just pastimes. They're pathways to connection. They give us common ground with others, shared interests, shared passions. When we engage in activities we love, we open doors to new relationships. I remember when I took up photography. Suddenly I found myself part of a community. We shared tips, went on photo walks, critiqued each other's work. It wasn't just about taking pictures, it was about connecting with like-minded people. The beauty of hobbies is their diversity. There's something for everyone. Love books? Join a book club, enjoy cooking, take a culinary class, interested in fitness? Try a group exercise class. The key is to choose something that genuinely interests you. Don't force yourself into an activity just because it's popular. Authentic connections come from authentic interests. When you're passionate about something, that enthusiasm is contagious. It draws people to you. Hobbies also give us a sense of purpose and accomplishment. Community groups are powerful antidotes to loneliness. They provide a sense of belonging, a place where you're seen and heard, where you can contribute and receive support. These groups come in many forms. Religious congregations, volunteer organizations, support groups, neighborhood associations, each offers a unique way to connect with others who share your values or experiences. Joining a community group takes courage. It means stepping out of your comfort zone, but the rewards can be immense. I remember joining a local volunteering group. At first I felt awkward and out of place, but as we worked together on projects, bonds formed. We shared laughs over painting mishaps. We celebrated small victories. Slowly these strangers became friends. The group became a second family. Community groups also give us a sense of purpose. They allow us to be part of something bigger than ourselves. When we contribute to our community, we feel valued, needed. Reach out to loved ones. Sometimes the path to connection is closer than we think. It's in rekindling relationships with loved ones, family, old friends. We often assume our loved ones are too busy or that they won't want to hear from us. But more often than not, they're thinking the same thing about us. Breaking this cycle of assumption can lead to beautiful reconnections. Start small. Send a text, make a quick call, share a funny meme. These small gestures can open the door to deeper connections. I once reached out to an old college friend I hadn't spoken to in years. I was nervous. What if she didn't want to hear from me? But her response was warm and enthusiastic. Now we chat regularly. That one small act of reaching out rekindled a valuable friendship. Be honest about your feelings. It's okay to tell someone you've been feeling lonely, that you miss them. Vulnerability can be scary, but it's also the birthplace of connection. Get serious help. Sometimes overcoming loneliness requires professional help, and that's okay. Seeking support is a sign of strength, not weakness. Therapists and counselors are trained to help us navigate complex emotions. They can provide tools and strategies for building connections. They offer a safe space to explore our feelings of loneliness without judgment. I remember my first therapy session. I was nervous, afraid of being seen as broken or weak. But what I found was understanding and empowerment. My therapist helped me see patterns in my behavior. She gave me practical tools for reaching out to others, for building the connections I craved. It was a turning point in my journey to overcome loneliness. Professional support comes in many forms: individual therapy, group therapy, support groups, online counseling. Each offers unique benefits. Don't hesitate to seek the help you need. Forming meaningful bonds. Forming meaningful bonds are the antidote to loneliness. But what makes a connection meaningful? It's not about quantity, it's about quality. Meaningful connections are built on authenticity, vulnerability, and mutual respect. They're relationships where we feel seen, heard, and valued for who we truly are. Building these connections takes time and effort. It starts with being authentic, showing up as your true self, not who you think others want you to be. This can be scary. We fear rejection, but when we're authentic, we attract people who appreciate us for who we are. I've found that my most meaningful relationships started when I dared to be vulnerable, when I shared my true thoughts and feelings. Listening is a crucial part of building connections. Really listening, not just waiting for your turn to speak. True listening fosters deeper connections. The art of self-compassion. In our journey to overcome loneliness, we often overlook a crucial relationship, the one with ourselves. Self-compassion is key to building meaningful connections with others. When we're kind to ourselves, we're more open to connecting with others. We're less afraid of rejection, more willing to take risks, to be vulnerable. Self-compassion isn't self-indulgence. It's treating ourselves with the same kindness we'd offer a good friend. It's acknowledging our struggles without harsh judgment. I remember a time when I was particularly lonely. I berated myself for not having more friends, for not being more outgoing. But this self-criticism only made me feel worse. It made me less likely to reach out to others. Practicing self-compassion changed everything. I started treating myself with kindness. Digital connections. In our digital age, connection often happens through screens, social media, video calls, online communities. These digital tools can be powerful allies in our fight against loneliness. They allow us to stay connected across distances, to find like-minded people around the world. But they also come with challenges. It's important to use them mindfully. Digital connections can be a double-edged sword. On one hand, they provide instant access to a global community. We can connect with old friends, make new ones, and find support at any time. I've seen beautiful friendships form in online support groups, people finding understanding and companionship they couldn't find locally. On the other hand, social media can sometimes increase feelings of loneliness. We see curated versions of others' lives. It can make us feel like we're missing out. Embracing hope, which is vital in human connection. As we conclude this journey through loneliness, let's focus on hope. Hope is a powerful force. It keeps us moving forward. It gives us the courage to reach out, to try again, even when connection seems difficult. Remember, loneliness is not a life sentence. It's a temporary state, one that we have the power to change. Human connection is our birthright. We are wired for it. It's as essential to our well-being as food and water. When we feel lonely, it's not because we're broken. It's because we're human. It's our heart's way of telling us we need more connection. Thank you for watching.